Hi everyone, my name is Alyssa Boss and I'm going to be talking to you about myself and the TED Talk video by Andrew Solomon that's titled Depression, the Secret We Share. Right now I am 20 years old and I'm currently a student at Texas State University, and I'll have 2 more years left in my Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology degree. That should pretty much tell you why it's of particular interest of me to actually learn about depression. The past 2 years have been pretty interesting. I've learned a lot of the way the brain develops, the way adults develop, and most importantly, the way that we change in our development. Without any type of disorders and anything that would eventually be particularly of a speed bump in your way of development. Depression to me has always been such a soft topic, and it's always been surrounded by a really big stigma from where we're from, the Rio Grande Valley in particular. It's never really been something that is so easily talked about or so easily accepted. Growing up in a moderately large family, I grew up with a lot of different types of personalities and a lot of different types of character. I've learned to basically just speak with a lot of different types of people, and if it's carried on into my work now that I do work on campus and I do speak with a lot of different people every day, different ethnicities, different sexual orientations. It's also helped that I've grown into a very open-minded family. I've always been aware of what the world had in store for me and what I was supposed to do and what was expected of me to do. And now that that's carried on, I think my curiosity in depression and learning more of really how somebody can cope with it and how treatment really goes on into helping you solve your problems. I really want to be able to further that into my career as well, and just have different perspectives of how it's taken care of and how it's felt. Because having the disease to one person may be completely different to having it to another, and then there's times where they completely match up and they completely feel the same way, and then so that's just why learning about different perspectives and how different people actually dealt with it is going to be really useful for me in the future. Andrew Solomon in his speech does talk a lot about how he felt. He uses a lot of different types of analogies, so maybe that way people that don't have it will completely understand. He uses pictures drawn by artists who suffered from actual mental disorders, trying to portray what their world actually feels like. Really, in the 30-minute video, he doesn't use much other external factors other than his actual voice. And even though he's talking about depression, he's not really looking for a sympathy vote. He's looking for helpful understanding, if that's an easier way to put it. He, instead of looking for somebody to feel bad for him, he's looking for somebody to understand what he went through. So that way maybe in the future it could be easily understood as well. Really, to me, at the end of this video, I want to be able to use it in my work in the future. Raising awareness in the Rio Grande Valley about mental illness is one of my biggest goals. Like I said before, there's a huge stigma around actually having the disease or any type of mental illness, and people don't really believe that it's real or that you can have it or that it's even treatable. And so hopefully in the end I'll be able to get out of this at least one perspective and understanding of how mental illness in general can be treated and treated effectively, and hopefully release some of the stigma that's in our local towns.